I was in and out of doctor offices, and the doctors back in the day, well, they started back now. Back in the day, they did a lot of house visits. Sometimes I was too sick to get out of bed, and Dr. Keith, he would come by and take care of me. And then, I was sick all the time. I would go to school, and I had no idea what the teacher was talking about. I blank out, or I couldn't concentrate because I was so sick. And then I would miss days, sometimes weeks out of school. And when I got back, when I left, they was on page 5. When I got back, they was on page 15. And then I was in a room with 40, 50 kids. And back then, they didn't have tutoring services. All these services they got now, they didn't have those when I was coming up. So I got behind. And guess what? It reflected on my report card. My report card would have U's and F's. U stood for unsatisfactory, F stood for fair. So all the way up to the 5th grade, I knew when my teacher handed me my report card what was going to be on it. That last time, that was one time too many, and I was in tears. And I went home, and I thought Big Mom was going to beat me by now because all I had to do was go to school and learn. That was my job. That was my job. Go to school and learn. And I couldn't do that. And I stood in front of this 300-pound woman with a gold tooth in the front of her mouth with cat eye glasses. And she looked at my report card and she had a toothpick and she was going in between her teeth. And I was waiting for the verdict. I was standing in front of her and I had my head down. And I said, Big Mama, I'm so tired of making bad grades. The woman had a lot of wisdom. She knew it was beyond her and she could not help me. She told me to go into my room, get on my knees, and talk to God Almighty, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, because she knew she couldn't help me.